Hey y'all, what's up? And welcome to Some Real Talk, a place where we get open and honest about what's going on in culture, content creation, and life as we know it. I'm your host, Maya Vinette, and today we got a good one for y'all. Justin Vibes and his vibraphone have only been viewed a couple of 10 million times across TikTok, Instagram, and various other social media platforms. Justin joins us on Some Real Talk today to get real about what it's been like going viral online, as well as where he's headed next in his musical journey. Check him out.
TikTok bans 1 minute of vibraphone. 1 day of vibraphone. 1 week of vibraphone. 1 month of vibraphone. 1 year of vibraphone. Let's go. Years of vibraphone.
Without further ado, Justin Vibes. All right, our guest on today's show has an introduction so long that it might take up the entire interview, so I'll just hit you with some of the highlights. Justin Vibes has over 55,000 streams on his most popular songs on Spotify. He just broke the 100,000 follower mark on Instagram today as we are recording, and he has over 4.7 million followers on TikTok. Justin, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm chilling. How about you?
I'm all right, trying to make the most out of a COVID year.
Yeah, it's definitely a year I did not expect, or I think no one expected really.
To say the least.
Yeah.
2020 has been a crazy year for a lot of us, but dare I say, in terms of your musical exposure, it's been a great year for you. You've really just taken off on social media.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's regardless, I was going to do whatever I needed to do. Mainly for my music, I work from home anyway. So it kind of didn't really affect my workflow. It just affected when I take a break. So that's really about it.
I think that's a great way to put it. So just jumping right into it, getting to know Justin Vibes. Your latest TikTok videos, like going all the way back, the earliest I could find was October 2019. So you haven't even been on the platform a full year, and yet you've already managed to grow a following of over 4 million, approaching 5 million. What is it about your videos that you think really draws people towards them and makes them want to watch and share and follow you?
So yeah, when I first started, my plan was to just promote on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube because what I do is such a visual thing. So I was like, okay, let me just focus on videos. And I noticed that even with my first video, I would get feedback that was from random people. And I'm like, well, are these bots or are these real life people? And I had like no followers, no like friend introduction to the app. It was just like people commenting. So I'm like, wait, I'm at 0 followers with people commenting. And I'm like, is this real? So I just kept posting. And then I noticed that the app had music in it. So I was like, well, let me, I guess, do some syncing, lip syncing with my instrument. And my funny thing is, my first viral video wasn't me playing, it was just me syncing. Then people were like, oh, it's not your sound, it's not your sound, you're not really playing. I was like, all right, I could play, like, so I was like, let me just do some song requests. And so I started out doing song requests on TikTok, and that became like a bigger snowball than I thought it would. And I was just like, what the heck is happening? Like, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just keep doing song requests. But then after a while, I realized telling a story with the vibraphone is what's most important. And so I just started doing more like storytelling with the vibraphone, and that kind of is like a hit all the time. So because I think it's, one of those things that people don't know. So being able to educate someone about the sound and still make it entertaining is what I believe gravitates the TikTok audience to my videos.
Whether it's that or a combination of other things, it's clearly working. And you said a lot just now. So I think a lot of people can resonate with what you said in terms of like you were going to do what you had to do to put the music out there.
Mhm.
So can you tell us a little bit about your musical journey, kind of before TikTok, before the huge snowball, like where did your love of music come from?
So I started like playing the vibraphone, which was then a xylophone, in third grade. So like I got introduced to the instrument really early. To me, it just looked like a musical drum set. I could just bang on something and play some notes. And it's like, oh, this is cool. And but my background has actually been jazz for most of my career. So I've been studying jazz and classical music like every time I went to a new school, that's all I was studying. So, and I did that in college, and I used to live in Chicago, so I played like a lot of like jazz in the jazz scene there. And now that I'm here in LA, I was like, well, look, I want to switch it up, and I want to play, uh, some pop music or some hip hop and R&B, which is actually what I grew up listening to. So um, it was just that like jazz and classical is just what I studied. So I was like, yeah, this is cool, but I want to like switch to like something that I actually enjoy listening to and love, and grew up with. And so been touring, been songwriting, and while I was doing that, I always knew that I wanted to just like bring the vibraphone to the mainstream audience. And I just knew that like it was an instrument that people knew of, but just didn't know how to pronounce. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's a thing that hear during Christmas time, and it's like, yeah, but it's also the thing that you hear on like the ABC jingle or NBC jingle. I mean, and so it was just like, it's like a big keyboard, and I think it's one of those things that like it did a lot for me. So I'm like, well, let me, you know, at least attempt to bring it to the world. So
And I think you've done an amazing job of bringing it to the mainstream. You brought it to social media. Millions of people have seen you and your instrument. And you said you have a long history of studying music and appreciating music and pursuing your music. So we're going to get into a game really quickly so we
okay.
can find out what your musical tastes are actually like outside of just the music that you create. Are you
Uh-oh.
ready?
All right,
Mm.
let's go.
I'm excited. Let's get to know Justin vibes. All right, we're gonna play a game called the Fast Five. So
That's
I'm gonna ask you just 5 questions, and the objective is for you to answer each one as quickly and as honestly as you can. First
okay.
thing that comes to your mind, don't be afraid to say it, all right?
All right.
All right, Fast Five. Number one, favorite album of all time.
I would have to say Outcast, the speaker box with Love Below. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Number two, favorite musical group of all time.
Musical group.
Mm,
Hmm. I would say Outcast.
Okay, three, biggest musical inspiration.
Biggest musical inspiration is Quincy Jones.
Okay, number four, best musical collaboration.
Best musical collaboration. I will have to say Drake and Future.
Now life is good. Okay, and number five, a song you wish you had written.
That I had written.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling.
Well, you seem to have no problem identifying really talented musicians, but how would you define yourself as a musician?
because I have a history of like songwriting and production, I would kind of consider myself to be, I mean, there was times I'd say, yeah, I'm a singer, I'm a vibraphonist, I'm a producer. And now I'm just like, I'm just a person who makes music with the vibraphone. And however that looks like, I don't want to limit myself. So yeah, I just kind of look at myself as like, I'm just a guy who just makes music with the vibraphone. And if it sounds good, cool. If it doesn't, I'll work on it to sound good.
I'd say you're a guy who's making incredibly popular music with your instruments now, and that's so amazing to see. Not only a different form of music, but a different type of musical representation. Like you said, we see the drums and the guitar constantly getting love
Yeah.
online and just in music, but for you to really open up awareness to this other type of instrument, this other type of music, I think is really important.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah. I think, my goal is to like show not only songwriters, artists, producers, students, musicians, is that there's always another way, and I think like most of the times we are stuck on the conventional way of doing things and just, making it in a way where it's relatable to people and be like, okay, I know this song, but I've never heard it on this instrument before. Um, so yeah, I think that's just like my goal, and I'm glad that it's, getting some type of recognition.
I think TikTok has played a huge role in helping you to achieve your goal of, getting your music out there, getting this other form of music out there. So, on some real talk, as a content creator, what was it like for you this summer when those headlines started to come out saying that TikTok might get banned in the US? Were you worried? Were you scared?
So me personally, no, I wasn't worried. Um, because I already had it in my head, like from day one, I'm going to start on these three platforms. And so even though TikTok took off, I still reposted that content on other platforms just because I already knew from day one I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. And with any platform, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or whatever, we don't really own these platforms, so it's anything could happen at any time, and so even though it's nice to have the likes and the follows and like get those milestone achievements, it's still a reminder like, hey, like this could still be taken away at any time. So I just try to like think about it in a way like, yeah, I have these followers, but I have to remember what got me to start in the first place, and it wasn't the followers, so it was, I'm thankful for the followers and I'm thankful for the support, but what started me to be like, let me post this, was like believing in myself. TikTok has definitely helped me like spread awareness on all those other platforms, and so I'm super grateful. Now for it to go, I would hope it doesn't. um it would be very unfortunate because I have established a relationship with some of the people that work there. So it's like really nice and like kind of comforting to know that like you have a support team that's like, hey, we are here for you. We're here to help you get some more opportunities. So that would suck if it goes, you know, but I would have to keep pressing on like everybody else and keep it going. So
I love how you're so genuine in terms of sticking true to your roots, because in a day and age where people literally dream of getting the amount of likes that you have. I think the last time I checked, you were at over 53 million likes combined across all of your TikTok videos. That's insane. You are touching so many people, and those likes are a reflection of how your work makes those people feel.
yeah,
So, what impact do you hope to have on people's lives, not only now on TikTok, but moving forward in your career?
my impact is just really to make people smile, but yeah, I think my overall goal is to make people smile, to entertain them, to educate them, to engage with them, to connect with them, and to be able to just say, hey, like I'm here, you know, like just playing my little bell set, which you may think it is, you know, but if you're alive, it's, it's another day it's another opportunity to smile.
So you're certainly putting a smile on a lot of people's faces. And a lot of your videos, actually, you are smiling. And I don't know if you know, but your smile is very contagious.
Oh, well,
Um,
thank you. I've gotten that.
yeah, yeah. You see this video of this guy playing this instrument you might have never seen before, and he looks like he's having the time of his life. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
I'm having
okay,
fun.
you're having fun, but where do you want to go from here? What's next on the Justin Vibes musical journey? Can you tell us?
Yeah, yeah. So right now I'm working on some original music, some more original music. And I'm planning on releasing something this fall, another song, and build that up as I continue to provide some song requests. Um, and then the goal would be, yeah, collaborate with some more influencers, some more artists, and then eventually have a project out, like a original album or mixtape or whatever it is. And then, you know, hopefully when this pandemic is over, be able to tour and perform live. And hopefully we won't have to socially distance then.
I mean, when the day does come, and hopefully it's soon, I'm excited. I'm excited for the tour, the performances, the album, the mixtape. I know you can't give us too many specifics right now, but for anyone at home who's not already riding the Justin Vibes wave, you can follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out his latest single, Life Alone, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud. Quick, Justin, before you leave us, as both an artist and a person, what do you want to leave your supporters with, the people who watch you on TikTok or Instagram, or even who are watching this interview right now?
If you take anything away from this interview, um, there's always another way. There's always options. And I think once you figure out or learn those options, I mean, it might take some research, but once you learn those options, find that and like act on it quickly, because I think, we're in a state where having more than one thing is like a necessity now, because, well, people had their jobs and they're gone. And so it's like they got to find all these things. They might just find that one thing, which is cool. But if you could find another option, I think that'll take out some of the panic for people, because like, okay, like I only have this and this. I don't know what else I'm gonna do. It's like, well, now you got this, this, and this. So with that being said, me being a vibraphone is that other option. And I think that in the midst of this pandemic, people can, maybe take the time and just find other options where they grow out of this, stronger and happier and, feeling like they can, achieve something. So that's it.
The music you make is so positive. That message was so positive. And with that, thank you so much, Justin.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. And that's a wrap for today's show. Thank you so much, Justin Vibes, for being our special guest today, as well as thank you to all of you for watching. If you have any questions or comments on anything me and Justin Vibes talked about today, be sure to drop them in the comment section below, as well as if you have any suggestions as to who should be the next guest on Some Real Talk, drop them below. Thank you so much for watching, and keep it real.